Hey there, this is Greg from LOVESEATMARRIAGE.COM. You're listening to porn. I'm not a smoker. I did try very hard to be one in my youth, to fit in high school for about 4 months, but I just couldn't hack it. I don't care who you are, that was funny. I stopped quite easily because I did not like smoking. But to this day, all my friends who are smokers try quitting again and again and again. I know of a person from my past that recently started smoking again after having been a non-smoker for nearly 15 years. The reason, I assume, it's so hard to quit smoking is that the motivation behind quitting is trumped by the fact that the smoker enjoys smoking. It's when the smoker stops enjoying it, or that the harm it poses outweighs the enjoyment it provides, that they are able to quit and be truly free of it. My wife was a smoker for roughly 17 years of her life or so. She's mentioned the occasional spur of a craving from time to time. Okay, the reality. I like porn. I know it's bad for me. It affects my marriage. I know it's bad. I choose not to pursue it anymore, but it is a battle. I was finally able to view the spiritual consequences to tip that scale. I always knew it was bad for me and my relationship, but it wasn't until I could feel the spiritual consequences and see them manifesting into my marriage that I could stop returning to my sin. I live my life on guard against the occasional spur of a craving from time to time. Let's be honest, I am presented with temptation almost daily. Recently in a coaching session, I had the thought of asking a gentleman what he liked about it. I figured that if he was aware of that, he could redirect that attention to his wife and revive their sexual relationship. Also, if his wife was aware of what he was seeking by going outside of their relationship for fulfillment, she may be able to come alongside him in the battle to ensure that she was meeting that need. In turn, I also answered the same question to him, to be vulnerable and fair, to be sure he knew I wasn't high and mighty as if porn didn't affect me. When I watch movies or read books, I tend to find myself in the perspective that I am living out what the characters are living out. So I confessed that for me the lure towards porn is the observation of seeing the female appearing affectionate, enthusiastic, eager, and passionate to serve her counterpart in the story. I was first lured to porn in hopes of feeling loved the way I would best feel loved. I need my wife to be an affectionate, enthusiastic, eager, and passionate sex partner, and way more often than she is able or willing. What a danger zone. When your enjoyment of anything trumps its consequences, you will justify it until you are blue in the face. Identifying why you enjoy it so you can replace it with something positive, as well as identifying what makes it harmful, is also a good course of action to make significant, beneficial changes for you. Okay, so try to dig deep inside your heart and answer why you like porn. Okay, borrowed from CovenantEyes.com, here are the top 5 issues porn can cause in your relationship. Porn invites comparison. Porn encourages lies. Porn lowers self-worth. Porn robs us of intimacy. Porn is adultery. And my 2 cents, but so are romance novels. Just saying. I once had a friend describe to me in excruciating detail a porn clip he had watched. He was so enthusiastic, so caught up in it, so excited. He got me worked up with his enthusiasm, and I was a new Christian trying really hard to fight that temptation. So I said to him with disgust, "Dude, think all the way back through that erotic moment for you and relish in the way you described the details and picture the woman you just told me about. Okay? Now, replace that woman's face with that of your 2-year-old daughter." He was appalled and told me how disgusting and horrible I was. I responded, "Dude, when you watch that stuff, just remember that those women are somebody's mothers, aunts, wife, sisters, or daughters." Okay, would you watch your mother's, aunts, wife, sisters, or daughters do that stuff with such enthusiasm? We have never touched the subject since. Ironically, like a secret smoker, I have been back to porn since I said those things to my friend. It is so shaming to keep returning. As of now, it's been a while since I've viewed anything, but I'm so careful because any time in my life I have started patting myself on the back for not being back to view porn is when I find myself in the middle of watching and wondering what just happened to me. Now, I feel it is appropriate to confess what is my biggest trigger to return. Do you feel like I'm foreshadowing to prepare you for my wife's blog next Tuesday? That's because I am. The feelings that make it most difficult to resist the lure are when I'm hurt enough and there is enough of a disconnect with my wife that I am tempted to return to porn due to feeling bitter, resentful, and angry about being sexually rejected by my wife. Or rejected by my wife for any reason, honestly. Okay, sorry. I have to recap this for my own sanity. Here is my potential crazy cycle. I need my wife to be an affectionate, enthusiastic, eager, and passionate sex partner, and way more often than she is willing or able. The feelings that make it most difficult to resist the lure are when I am hurt enough and there is enough of a disconnect with my wife that I am tempted to return to porn due to feeling bitter, resentful, and angry about being sexually rejected by my wife, or rejected by my wife for any reason, honestly. Sounds like a recipe for disaster that sometimes feels useless to fight. What does a guy do about it? For now, the only answer for me is to run, not walk, to God when tempted, and find a way to be able to have openness and vulnerability in my marriage and be a huge encourager of keeping my wife as close to God as I can help her be. Please share your thoughts and or experiences so that the rest of us may find some useful solace in your failures and successes. Let Lisa and I know what you think by commenting at LOVESEATMARRIAGE.COM. Follow us on Twitter to be kept up to date on new blog posts and fresh audio blogs as soon as we upload them by engaging us at twitter.com/LVSTMRRG. Like us on Facebook by going to facebook.com/LoveSeatMarriage.